Welcome to With That Being Said, a Rue Fitness podcast where we get fit while having fun. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at Rue_fitness and on Facebook at Rue Fitness. Also give us a like, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, and give us a 5-star rating and review. Only kind words. Everyone, welcome to the podcast. I am Bradley Schneller. We have with us Emily Schneller. Almost said Sarah Schneller. That would have been weird. And then with us over there, Sarah Altobello.
I know we spend a lot of time together, but we're not quite there.
Somebody legit called me Sarah like yesterday. I was wearing my mask and I just didn't correct them. Like, okay.
A lot of new members come in and they do their free session with you, and then I will do like a fundamentals, or they'll see me around the gym. Emily, I had a question for you, and I just roll with it. I just go with it. They'll figure it out eventually.
All right, let's get rolling. How many times have I gorged myself in food bliss, walked into the bathroom, lifted up my shirt, stuck out my stomach, and said, I feel fat?
Normally you say puffy.
Puffy.
But yes.
Yeah.
I say,
That's
I
code.
I say fluffy.
Or you say, do I look puffy? Do I look puffy?
The good news is that Emily will always be honest and real with me. But
Because I know that that is what you want.
yeah.
You appreciate when I'm like, actually, yes.
In my house, I have to say, I get it. I know I am not fluffy, but I really feel that way right now.
But half the time, though, you're like, you look fine.
Yeah.
You
Most
look
of the
fine.
time.
Most of the time,
I'm
right?
like, stop.
But what I'm feeling like is legit due to how I ate, what's going on my insides. You know,
Your insides feel like they want to be on your outsides.
my insides feel like I want
They're
to be on the
trying to get out.
outsides. So all of us experience this.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the point of what we're talking about today, is that a lot of people think of like being fat as an objective like state, but in reality being or feeling fat can be a feeling, when in actuality like nothing on the outside has really changed in a major way. You can feel fat, and that is legit.
It's very similar to when our clients gain a couple of pounds due to like water retention, and they're like, oh my God. And I was like this too.
I feel so bloated.
Yeah,
I feel so sluggish.
and the reality
I feel
is
gross.
You didn't gain 2 pounds of fat. You are
Right.
not fat, because what does it take to gain a pound of fat in a week?
A surplus of 3,500 calories.
That's a lot, y'all.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's an extra 500 above maintenance every single day. So we can literally look at what you guys are eating and know that you're not gaining it. But you can't.
Literally.
But we see the number on the scale go up, or
And like that
we
Guardians of the Galaxy
feel-
song, you're like, I can't fight this feeling.
yeah, it's there. It's like, then it's in your head, or some clothes don't fit right, or I think now too we might see like a memory pops up on social media, or something else happens and suddenly we feel fat.
Yeah, and it's something that I kind of deal with as a coach, especially with clients that don't have a whole lot of weight to lose. You know, I have clients that are 125 pounds coming to me and saying, I feel fat. And it would be not helpful for me as a coach to be like, you're crazy. Or, you know, it's hard to
Right.
talk people out of that, because if they're feeling that way, there are other things that are going on that can lead to feeling that way, even if outwardly they are not objectively fat. Yes?
Yeah.
That feeling most of the time is stemming from something else.
Yeah.
So what could those things be stemming from?
Quality of your food.
Yeah.
In some cases, extra salt intake, right? Sometimes sadness and emotions can help us, make us feel that way. A lot of the same kind of feelings of being sluggish and not, happy and fit are associated with just emotional feelings of depression and sadness.
Yeah, when my sleep is poor, when my
Yeah.
stress is high, I feel this way. And also, I find when I don't drink enough water, which seems really counterintuitive for a lot of people, I feel like I am retaining more.
Yeah.
And objectively, I can sit down and say, like, I know I didn't gain fat overnight. I know this 2 pounds is coming from somewhere else, but it's hard to rationalize that sometimes.
Yeah. Another thing that makes me feel sluggish and gross is if I'm sitting down all day, even if I got a workout in. So my Garmin that I love is helping me have a whole new awareness of my NEAT.
Does it yell at you?
Yes, it
Yeah,
just vibrated and told me to move.
Sometimes when I've
literally
gotten like
just-
16,000
Yeah.
steps and it's like 8:30 p.m. and I'm just chilling, it's like time to get up and move. I'm like, F you.
We are done.
Yeah, I am done moving for the
Done
day.
moving for the
Sorry.
day. No, but I noticed a huge difference, and now that I have the awareness of like and the data to support how I am feeling, I notice that if I'm getting less than 5,000 steps, even if I worked out that day, I feel gross and tired and sluggish.
Back to the quality of food, I think that's huge. We went to a restaurant meal this Sunday. We went to, can I say it?
I don't remember where
We went to Treps.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if you want to talk about this, but we really wanted some oysters, raw oysters. We found this really cool place called Sidecar. Walked in. They were having
an
this
Elvis
brunch.
brunch.
I'm like, this sounds cool.
Oh, wait,
I'm
I
in.
didn't know about this.
Yeah.
This is
I want to go. Like,
It looked super cute, too.
yeah. And then they said it was $45 a head.
Which would have been
okay,
fine.
But we had Vivian and Brennan with us, and it was still $45 a head for them.
We're like,
I'm like, I'm not paying $180 for
A
the
3-year-old.
Yeah, a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old.
They're not
Experience
gonna.
Elvis
ex-
brunch.
They're not drinking. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were scrambling. We wanted to sit outside. It was beautiful on Sunday. So we go to Treps. We looked at their menu. Like, okay, we got some good options here. And we did a scan, got the oysters. Oysters were good. Drank a beer. It was nice outside. I had my scale with me. So I pulled out, weighed the oysters, weighed the
You
beer.
got chicken and asparagus and
Yeah, I ordered a chicken breast. It was a
potatoes.
roasted chicken breast with roasted fingerling potatoes and roasted asparagus.
and still
Well, I noticed when there was like a half a cup of grease at the bottom of the bowl that this was not going to be fantastic. But, you know, I weighed all my food. Like the macros weren't terrible for what it was, but you could tell the salt intake was high. You could tell it was cooked in probably not the greatest of oils.
Probably vegetable oil.
Yeah. And I felt like garbage. Let's flip the coin a little bit. We decided to go for a walk uptown. Before we did that, we actually went and got dessert at La Boulangerie, and I had a little bit of their strawberry cream cheese ice cream, and a couple of pieces of Brennan's chocolate triple fudge cake or whatever, and I felt fine.
Yeah.
the quality of their
The
ingredients
quality
are
of the
super
ingredients,
good though.
Yeah. And so for me, that's normally my biggest problem. Because I tend not to overeat that much anymore, except for Thanksgiving. And even still, I've backed off of that.
Yeah.
So it's like the quality. You know, it's like I cooked that I just did the Jonathan. I'm hitting you. For those who can't say it, I'm hitting Emily with my right hand. But anyway, for Toast Sunday, I did that pork shoulder. And I'm not used to eating that
much
high of fat. And it just wrecked my stomach, even though my calories were less than my goal.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to when we were trying to eat paleo and you thought you had a gluten intolerance, but then you realize
it's
that
true.
it's like it's the quality of the gluten that you're eating. Like even still, if you eat like a pizza from I don't know,
Reginelli's.
a poor
I can't eat
quality
Reginelli's.
restaurant, you don't feel good. But if you eat a piece of Dave's Killer Bread, or if you eat
Well, it's
that,
like I cannot eat a po' boy. Like it will destroy
Right.
me. But I could eat half a loaf of Dave's Killer Bread and be fine.
yeah, quality matters.
Quality matters. All right, so solutions.
I think having the awareness that it is a feeling is kind of step number one, and not feeling like you are, I don't know. I see people kind of rolling their eyes at people that aren't fat and say, I feel fat, and like recognizing that that is a legit feeling. It doesn't have to be an objective thing. Is step number one.
So step number one is acceptance.
Acceptance.
It's acceptance that this is a legit feeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's be clear about that, because I was
It's
just
a feeling and not a physical state of being.
Yes.
Yeah, I read this article from Psychology Today.
Okay.
I'm saying it. I don't care. All right.
It's
People
pretty
can hate at me. It says, lose the F word. When you feel fat, it's tempting to bash your body. I agree with that. Stop chit-chatting about how much you hate your thighs or your butt. Yes, I agree with that. Instead, focus on self-acceptance and connect with others who want to do the same. I disagree with that. And here is why, okay? I don't think we should be okay with the feeling of feeling fat. Like that should, because it's not fun. Do you have fun feeling that way?
Oh, absolutely not.
It sucks, okay? So it would be better to take that feeling, figure out what led to that feeling, and make a plan to make better decisions next time.
100%. So let's break that down. Acceptance, curiosity, make a plan. Stick to the plan.
Yeah. And my big thing with that is, will you feel like this again? Absolutely. Why? Because it's going to have to take practice. Practice being in those situations where you don't have the best options and making a better option. Now, do you want to immerse yourself in that all the time? No. But inevitably, you will be in those situations. That's part of the stacked nutrition coaching, is learning to live with our nutrition. So part of that is learning to, learn from our mistakes and make better decisions next time. And it won't be perfect, but hopefully it's a little bit better each time.
Well, and I tend to think in general, kind of at this point in our lives, a lot of our initial gut reactions, our feelings are ingrained. Like, it's going to be really hard to change that. So, like, you're making great decisions, but you do have those meals out and you wake up the next day and you are still very fit, but you feel gross, you feel sluggish, you say you feel fat. It's using that and accepting it and being able to move on from it quickly versus like sinking into that and sitting in your stretchy pants all day.
That was the other one. It said, get cozy. Feeling fat sometimes is triggered by perceptual cues such as squeezing into tight clothing. Until the feeling passes, change into pajamas or sweatpants.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think you run the risk.
What?
Like, if you feel that way, you could argue this, but I think something you shouldn't do is then feel guilty about feeling that way.
Right.
Because I used to not say things because I objectively know I'm a very fit person, but I still have these feelings, so I wouldn't vocalize it to anyone. And then I would feel bad about feeling that way, and it just becomes a cycle. But instead, if I just say, okay, I'm feeling this way, what does it mean? What can I do to move on from it now? That's something I can apply all the time.
Ooh, I have a story.
Let's
So
say it.
when we
Sure.
were in
Love stories.
Austin, we have talked about our trip to Austin. Bradley and I took a trip to Austin that was largely centered around food and activity. But we went and had like a fancy brunch or whatever, and then we had plans to work out. We pulled up in the parking lot to the gym to work out, and both of us were like, ugh, like I feel gross. I feel fat. This is the last thing I want to do. What happened like 10 minutes into the workout?
Feel amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So realize too that it's a temporary state usually if you don't
If you allow it to be temporary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you allow it to be temporary and you don't just change into your sweatpants and slug around your house all day. You know what I mean? Do something about it.
Oh, I'm such a grease ball.
I have this kind of general rule of thumb for myself, and that is we tend to be really active on our vacations, but also eat a lot. So for like a week-long vacation, in my head, it's coming back in, just getting back to my normal routine, not compensating any kind of way.
Yes.
I feel like it takes me about a week to fully have like my energy back, feeling good. And then another like 3 to 7 days to feel like I've lost all of the water weight and the bloat from the trip. And we get really caught up in being like, man, I have to wait 2 weeks to feel good again. But it's a drop in the bucket, right?
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're considering it's a lifetime or you're working on your nutrition for years. It's not a short-term thing. And what Sarah said, that's actually right on point because typically it takes 9 to 10 days to lose water weight. So 6 to 7 plus another 3.
Give yourself a few days to like get
right
your
there.
energy and kind of your mojo back, being in your routine. I actually think the best vacations are ones where you're ready to go and then also ready to come home. So give yourself a few days back in your routine, not overcompensating or doing anything differently. And your energy spikes, and I think your motivation spikes.
That's what I was just about to say, is a lot of times I see this with clients and myself. When you have those experiences when you're on vacation and you are more dialed out with your nutrition, sometimes that reinvigorates you to get more dialed in when you do get back in, not to compensate, but you're like excited to get back to the plan because you know how good that made you feel.
Well, think about
what
your
I mean?
cravings towards the end of a vacation.
Oh
What do
my
you
gosh.
crave? You crave vegetables,
Oh my God.
salads.
All of my
I was craving
after-
chicken breast.
In
So many
Austin,
of
that was
my-
the last
Austin.
feeling. You're like, I just
clients
want
that
chicken.
I've had for a while have been like, I went on vacation and I wanted green things by day 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like me in Spain.
It's
Where are the
working.
vegetables?
I love it. I love it. All right, Em, let's give the solutions in order one more time. I want to ingrain it in people's minds.
Acceptance.
Well, I think recognition
Yeah.
and acceptance.
Okay.
Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Creating a plan
Creating
to
a
get
plan.
out of that place.
I'm gonna add a
to
fourth.
make that temporary,
I'm
right?
gonna add a fourth. Get moving.
Get moving can help, yeah. And then practice saying yes to your plan, because that is the biggest way to build self-confidence. The more you are successful with saying yes to your plan, the more confidence you will build and the bigger that snowball gets.
Yeah, and I want to end with this. Nutrition is a practice. It's just like fitness is a practice, just like yoga is always, spoken about as a practice. So is this. You have to practice these habits. You have to practice eating healthy and know that it's not going to be perfect, but you are on the path to just getting a little bit better. So
I think it's very interesting, and I think it is not a coincidence that a lot of the solutions, it sounds very similar to how you get out of a habit dip.
yep. Oh, I love it. So.
Recognition, acceptance, curiosity.
And if you think about maybe the times you have felt the worst, and you might not have been in a full like week-long dip, but you might have been in a little bit of a habit dip when
That
you're feeling
reminds
that
me.
way.
I saw Janet this morning. She's like, Emily, I'm fully out of that habit dip. I'm like, see, Janet, all it took was keep going.
Yep, that's what we
funny.
did.
All right, Emily, one last time so we can end it with this in people's mind. Give us a solution.
Recognition, acceptance, curiosity, make a plan,
Get
say
moving.
yes to your plan, get moving, and keep saying yes to your plan.
Peace, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.